Aston Villa today have incurred an estimated pre-tax loss of 82 million in their submissions to UEFA for the 24-25 season. Across the last three seasons, from 2022 to 2025, Aston Villa have totally incurred a tax loss of 290 million. According to Birmingham Live and reading into the report, though, it does not take into consideration the non-recurring profit of sale of assets at Aston Villa. This obviously does include the sale of the women's team to our parent company, B Sports, which totals at around 118 million. And also, it doesn't take into consideration Villa's record-breaking profits of 441 million euros across the last few years. So, what does this mean on paper? First and foremost, there are many clubs that have these tax losses. Manchester City and Nottingham Forest are in a similar boat as us as well, and Chelsea have recorded the highest tax loss of anybody. So when you're spending all this money, you're playing in Europe now and again, these costs are going to happen. So in the grand scheme of things, we're still in and about the mix of the boat with a lot of these teams. But what does it realistically mean for the football? It clearly shows the priority needed for Champions League football. Without that source of income and playing these high quality teams like Bayern and PSG, whether we'd like to admit it or not, you know, it's very much needed. Like I was mentioning in one of my videos, it's ridiculous to see us pay high amounts of money to watch us play Leeds United in the position that we both are in the season. But it makes sense because the club needs to generate revenue. It comes to the fact that Villa need to make Champions League football, so it increases your broadcasting viewership, broadcasting rights, and also not to mention, fans are going to want to see those bigger games. Stadium expansion needs to be happening. It increases your stadium output, allows more fans to come into the stadium, which means you sell more tickets, more season tickets. But then it's also on the club to do a lot more outside of match day and offering a lot more opportunities for sizable revenues. I would argue it'd make more sense for Aston Villa to play a lot more of their youth games at Villa Park because it increases your attendance capabilities rather than Bodymore Heath, but that's just my opinion. From a player perspective, though, it would obviously point towards the signs that a player of high value needs to be sold. Now, everyone goes on about Morgan Rogers, and fair enough, he's a very young, talented player. And although the players we have in that Villa team, he's the one with a lot of upside. But I'd like to take a moment to look at some other options that could be considered to ultimately meet this constraint. Ezri Konsa, a young English defender who's probably our best centre half in the ranks at the moment, he could go. Matty Cash having his best season at the moment, he could be of value. Emi Martinez has been wanting to leave Aston Villa for the summer now, so that may be an option there. Onana, you could argue making some money back. Lamar Bogard, you could make a pure profit on. If you really wanted to, John McGinn for only being signed for 2.5 million, whatever he'd get sold now would be a profit. There's a lot of options over the park, but I know the obvious point would be towards Morgan Rogers. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of this news. What do you think the club need to do? Is it more so focus on marketing and advertising outside of the club, or does it need to be focused on player sales?